What is up, Republic of Gamers? Hello and welcome to ROG Pulse, your inside look at what's happening behind the scenes here at the Republic of Gamers. My name is still Jake, although I look a little bit different now. Hi.
I'm upset. Once upon a time, 100% of our team were glasses wearers.
Hmm.
And then we hired Robert, Jake got LASIK, and now we are down to 50%. I don't like the direction that this is going.
Deal with it. uh, Real talk though, I might wear these sunglasses for half the stream because LASIK healing is a thing. We were having this conversation in our kind of like our group chat, like some of the challenges of healing from LASIK surgery, and looking at computer screens is actually brutal right now. It's really tough to
Dude, I
read.
bet.
And life as a gamer, I'm like finding all these like other modes of gaming. Like Ally is actually way better than PC right now for my eyes. TV is better than PC for my eyes. But I ordered a pair of blue light filter glasses, Whitson. So I'll be wearing glasses on stream aplenty, just because that's
Nice.
it's good for your eye health, right? You know, it's good. Anybody should wear
Yeah.
blue light filter glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also, a lot of our monitors actually have an eye care thing that filters blue light as
That
well.
is true. That is true.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
I still remember, I don't remember why I got my eyes dilated, but I was at the eye doctor and they like dilated my pupils or something.
Yeah.
And I had to wear sunglasses inside, not even looking at screens, just like
Oh, yeah.
inside for like 3 days. They were like, "Oh, it should go down in like 24 hours." It was like 3 days of just like, "Oh my gosh, all light hurts my eyes."
When I got my LASIK consultation a year ago, same thing, they dilated my eyes. I couldn't do the test because my eyes were too sensitive from the dilation. That it's just like I can't read anything. I can't see. Like this is insane. So
Yeah,
I get
it's
it.
really frustrating. I was lifeguarding too at the time, so being out in the
Oh,
sun, that was
jeez.
tough.
Love it. Love it.
Anyway,
Yeah. We've
it is
got
a very special day apart from Jake's eyesight being fixed. We are celebrating our 30th anniversary of ASUS graphics cards. You guys may have seen this on our social media, but we thought we could take a stream today and kind of wax poetic about the past, talk about how old we are and all of the graphics cards that we've owned over the years. And then we'll go into some Prime Day sales because we still got 2 days left of Prime Day. We got some pretty sweet stuff on sale. So we're making it rain hardware today.
before we jump into all the past and all that good stuff. I do think it's fun to kind of look at the present, right? Because look at
That's
that.
true.
Look at that boy. That's the Astral
Yes,
5090.
where we are.
Right? I finally have a 5090 in the system. This is the Astral 5090 BTF. I don't think we've shown it off on Pulse. I've shown it off on stream, but gosh, it's a beauty.
We've definitely showed it off on Pulse before.
The 5080. I don't know about the 5090, but they look the same. They look the same.
I didn't realize you got a 5090.
Yeah, I officially got a 5090 BTF edition.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I did know that.
Yeah.
I was on vacation when it happened, so it
Yep.
skated right by me.
It's all a blur. I get it. But yeah,
Very exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah, and the performance is phenomenal. Like when I look at like
Oh yeah,
the balance
it's
on my
nuts.
PC, it's like feels great.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's where we are today. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. It all started with the Asus 375 graphics card. This was like back in the mid 90s. So Jake and I were children. We're old, but we're not
So this is
old that we like remember this.
ROG by like a decade almost, right? Like
Yes. And this was like we were not even really using the term GPU at this time. Like we were a little bit, but it wasn't as prevalent of a term as it is today. This wasn't really for gaming at the time. It was a little bit more targeted toward commercial use, this specific card. But the year after that, we released the Asus AGP V3000. Now, for those of you that don't know, AGP refers to the connector on the card. This was pre-PCIe. Like it was a completely different connector to hook the card into your motherboard. And then you also see it's a different connector on the back. It's just a lone VGA port. Just one VGA port on there.
It's so funny. And some of these early cards probably had S-Video soon after this. And
Yep, some of
Yeah.
them had S video, and for those of you that don't like, you had to screw it in. It was a whole
You
thing.
didn't have to, but you should.
You didn't have to, but
Yeah.
if it was good practice. This this was the first card to fully integrate support for Direct 3D. So this was more of a true like gaming card from ASUS.
Yeah.
Would kind of started us on the trajectory that we are today. Fun fact, it was not long after this that I performed my first ever graphics card upgrade in my dad's PC. A few years after this, like 1999, 2000-ish, uh, I barely remember this, but I opened up my dad's PC and installed an NVIDIA GeForce 256, which was the minimum spec card to play Enter the Matrix. Did you ever play Enter the Matrix?
I did, yeah.
So I was like really big into the Matrix movies, and this was such a cool thing because they came out with this game that what?
I don't know.
I mean, like,
I'm just picturing you wearing a leather coat, putting on some sunglasses, being this like giga bullet time Matrix nerd, going to the movies, having the best time of your life.
yeah, basically. Now, I didn't have a big coat like that, but I wanted this game because it was not just a game based off the movies, but it was a game that told a story parallel to the second movie. So you got like these other characters, like perspective of that entire story. So it wasn't just like a licensed movie game. Like it was part of the Matrix stories.
Yeah, yeah.
I upgraded my dad's graphics card to play this game, somehow didn't break the computer. And yeah, that was my first ever graphics card upgrade.
Epic.
Yeah, and Ritz in chat says, yeah, that's what card looks like. Now they're huge. Yeah, now they're much bigger. Look at that. Look how tiny that heatsink is. There's not even a fan on this.
Yeah, the term card almost doesn't apply to modern day graphics cards because.
Yeah. Now that said, there was a fan on the first ROG card, which came, like Jake said, almost a decade later in 2008.
Oh, it came in 8. Okay. 6 was an ROG.
So 2008 was when ROG, the ROG brand was founded, but the first ROG graphics card, as far as I know, it's possible my history is wrong here, but was the ASUS EN9800 GT Matrix. Yes, not to be confused with the Matrix movies I was just talking about, but the Matrix name in the cards
started at the
has
very
actually
beginning.
been around.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the very, very beginning.
That's a cool fun
that's
fact.
kind of, it is, yeah, and that's like kind of led us up to today. I also had a 9800 GT in my first DIY PC that I built in college. Not this one. I did not have the Matrix. I wasn't putting up that much cash for my first ever PC. And at the same, the 9800 GT was already on its way out by the time I built this PC. I only put it in because like I needed a graphics chip. I wasn't planning on gaming a lot until I did. And then I SLI'd a second 9800 GT in there to get some better performance. So those were some of like the first cards that like made our name in graphics. But I want to hear from all of you guys about the cards that you own. So Jake, we're going to start with Jake. Jake's going to show us some of the cards that he's had. But guys in chat, tell us some of the cards that you guys had, because I want to know some of the favorite cards, some of your first cards. Like, what were your favorite ASUS graphics cards? Jake,
I've actually got to drop this page in chat just because like I was like, kind of looking at this old graphics card and thinking, what was the very first graphics card I owned that I built in myself? And this is actually going back like real far. It's the GTX 560. This wasn't even Strix. This was ASUS. It was a 560 Ti. It has an ROG aesthetic to it, but this wasn't an ROG card.
Dude, I had a 560 Ti too. That was when I upgraded my 9800 GT. That's what I got, the 560 Ti.
Yeah, that was my very first card that I ever built a PC with. But I think what I'd like to kind of point to as like my most memorable and maybe my favorite of all time. I'm skipping forward. My bad. We'll go. Oh, fixed.
Spoiler alert.
I know. We'll get to those in a moment. Okay, I got the fun task. Whitson and I had the fun task of kind of perusing through years of photos to see what kind of old setups we might have. And typically when I took a picture of my setup, they're like the worst photos ever. They're like low light, showcasing the RGB. You can't see anything.
Jake was like taking them on a flip phone, even though it was like 10 years after flip phones were relevant.
Bro, seriously though, like this was on like my Lumia 920 Windows phone, like the worst the worst quality photos you could get. No, they weren't that bad, but low light they were bad.
I
Low
the
light
Lu I
photos were bad.
liked those Lumia phones. I wish that they had, like,
Dude, same. I was a huge fan.
stuck around because they were really well made.
Bought very yeah, yeah, yeah. Very good construction, but low light photos for any phone back then was terrible.
Back in the day, yeah, at
Didn't
that
matter.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were terrible. So I found very few pictures of my actual setup, but you can see my desktop to the right here. This is the desktop that I had when ASUS hired me. So this is my first ASUS setup. They had sent me some Electropunk peripherals that you can see, and that's kind of what I was showcasing is the setup of my cameras and all of that. That's what the memory was about. But that was a 1080, and I think the GTX 1080 was, I don't know, that was the workhorse for like the majority of my professional streaming career was with a 1080. I think I had a 780 before then, but the Strix 1080 was just such a good card.
I think it will continue to go down in history as like one of the best cards. Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will remember
Price to
that as one of,
performance, everything. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's so good.
I
Um,
weirdly I never had, I feel like I'm the only one that never owned a 1010 series card.
yeah, a lot of people had 1070s, 1080 Ti's. I just had the 1080. And then this is kind of the evolution of my setup. We during COVID, I had some renovations done in my home. We had this office built, and this is actually the 30 series graphics card, which was phenomenal. We used that for a good amount of time here on the channel until we moved to 40 series. Obviously, I've been spoiled ever since with ASUS because I always have the latest and greatest. So it's like it feels a little bit different, but just some variations of my setup then. But Whitson, how about you,
It,
man? Let's
or
talk.
hold on, go back. Is that a portable monitor above your Z13? Is that a Z13 or what? What is like the second monitor above the laptop
Yeah, that's a
there?
portable monitor. And it comes with this cool little stand that allows it to elevate like that. So it was designed to do that. I don't remember
Oh,
the name of that
cool.
portable display, but yeah, the that was a really interesting setup. And I remember we did a like flight sim stream on that setup where I was able to put a lot of the flight sim controls on that top panel and stuff, and it was pretty interesting. But that was
Oh, cool.
yeah, that's the original Z13, I believe. Might have been an X13.
Carbon Rabbit has a very important question. How long are those tables that you used for your desks?
So I don't use them anymore. Those were workbenches. One of them was I want to say like 6 feet, and one was
Like
eight
that's
feet.
got to be 98 inches. Yeah.
6 feet and 8 feet, I believe, were the two workbenches. My problem I had with that setup was it was too narrow of a space. It was, I believe, 18 inches
Yeah, it's
deep,
not deep
18 inches
enough.
deep, which was just not ideal. And I
It's
just
really not.
so I actually still use one of these as a workbench over there, and I use the other one in my garage. So they weren't bad purchases. I've just moved them into other purposes now.
Nice.
Yeah, let's talk about
Some
some of
folks
your.
in
Go ahead.
Well, I want to go to chat for a second. Talk about some of the graphics cards people are mentioning. 660 Ti. Volker says overclocked 2 gigs, 2 gigs of VRAM. Those were the days.
Yo, but
Um,
back in that generation, were you SLIing? That's the question.
I did SLI, but after I did it, I went back to single card. That's when I switched that 560 Ti. The single card was just to me, it was like it was a better unless you were SLIing the absolute top card of the stack. It didn't necessarily make sense to
Yeah,
SLI. You could
I
get
agree.
a better value by buying a single card, selling your old one. You didn't have to deal with like especially back in those days, some of like the micro stutter stuff that the SLI uh,
I found the
had.
real value was more for rendering and stuff, anyways, back then.
Yeah, that's true. And I was doing some rendering back then. I was making videos for Lifehacker, but Conga Maniac says I don't remember my first graphics card. Too old for that. But first Asus card was an R9 280X. I had a 280X as well. Unfortunately, it died because my liquid cooling loop leaked onto it and shorted it out.
Oh
And
no.
that is when I bought the first card that I have in the slideshow coming up. I will tell that story another time because that is a wild story.
Oh.
Um, GTX 770, ATI Rage 128 Pro. That was, I think that was a little bit before I was
Yeah, I
paying
don't even know what
close
that
enough
is.
attention. I don't even know what generation that is. Um, oh my gosh, some of you guys are old like us. These are some old cards in here.
What the
9600 GT, 970 Strix, Sasco. That's the one I'm about to show off. That was my first Asus card as well, I
nice.
think. Oh man, this 3DFX Voodoo 3 AGP from Brett in Gaming, 1999. I think you win. I think you're tied with me for my Enter the Matrix card. Not to be confused with the Matrix card, which I did not have.
Yeah, I think I built my first PC in 2002. So I couldn't tell you. I probably had onboard graphics on the first PC I ever had. I don't know. I was
Yeah,
too young to know
I
what
had
I was
some of that.
barely knew what I was doing at the time. Right.
Yeah. Shams, good question about the OLED. Then the Prime Day sales. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, so stick around. Okay, so someone mentioned the Strix 970. That was my first ASUS card that I can remember. Might I actually don't remember what brand my 280X was because I immediately took the shroud off and I water cooled it. So I'm not even sure I remember. But this was my most memorable ASUS card because this thing, I have another picture of it if you go to the next one. That was my PC. This is like, I don't know, probably 2015 that I took this picture, but I'd had it for a little bit at that point, I think. Look at the size of that heat pipe, man.
It's
That
meaty.
boy is thick with two C's. So I remember buying this car. I remember I literally was just Googling like, what's the best 970? And this was the best 970. And once I installed it, I realized why. The cooling on the stick was my first triple fan. I think this was a triple fan card. Strix 970. Was that a triple fan? Bad boy. But like that no, it was dual fan. But massive heat pipe. I just remember it being so much quieter than the other graphics cards that I had experienced up until then. And the performance was nuts. I played like all the Witcher games on this. I played Mass Effect 3 on this. Like some of my favorite years of gaming were played on this card.
Yeah.
Um, and after this is when I started freelancing and was doing a lot of monitor reviews. I had to switch to an AMD card because I was doing a bunch of FreeSync monitor reviews. That was before NVIDIA cards worked with FreeSync. I built two different PCs, one for my living room. So at this point, I just started upgrading like crazy. So I can't go through all of the ASUS cards I owned, but there were a lot of them even before I worked here. But one of the ones that stands out in my head is the ASUS GTX 3060 Ti KO edition. I think that's the next picture. So I think I've shown this PC before. This is the one that I have built into my entertainment center back here. The KO edition was this really kind of unique SKU that we had. Like everyone knows Strix and Tough and Dual. The KO edition, we don't do it anymore. We don't do
It was a
this
pretty
generation, but
limited
for
run. Yeah.
the 30 series generation, I think it was primarily designed for like the Asian market, but it had this really unique design, kind of like gold and silver accents with some RGB and these like kind of like lion's head images. It was just really unique looking. And for a kind of more showpiece thing like this, I was like, I needed a dual fan card. Triple fan, if I can go triple fan, I will. But for this machine at this time, I needed a dual fan because it was all that fit into that case. But this was a bit bigger than our dual cards, and the aesthetics were just so on point that it was awesome. It was awesome. So that was one of my favorite cards, just in terms of like memorability.
It's a
Um,
cool card.
of course, now if you go to the next, you guys have seen this before. I switched to all liquid cooling on this machine, so we did a whole stream where I put the 5090 LC in there. I've got a Ryujin liquid cooler in there, and then it all just blows the hot air out the back
So
of
cool.
the
Yeah.
piece of furniture, which is a really nice setup. So yeah,
Speaking
those are some. I've owned so many more graphics cards than that, but those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, just speaking of liquid cooling, I just got to say my all-time favorite when it boils down to it is the 4090 Matrix. I think the 4090 Matrix is the coolest looking card we've ever made. Now the Matrix cards are like collectible. They're pretty hard to get your hands on. They're a little bit flashier. And this had so many cool features that we've brought to the 50 series, like the mileage counter, which I think is really cool. That's
Oh
something
yeah,
they debuted with the 4090 Matrix. But I think as far as a liquid cooled card goes, this is the pinnacle. Like it says pinnacle
it
performance on
is.
the screen. It's pinnacle aesthetics as far as I'm concerned.
It's so unique. There are no other cards that really look like that. We have brought some of that aesthetic over to our Astral 50 series cards.
Yeah.
But that's what's so cool about the Matrix series is that like we do some kind of wild things with the Matrix series, and sometimes it's just a one-off thing. Like that was it the Poseidon, the card that had it had a liquid cooler all integrated onto the card. There were no tubes
Right.
or anything. It was all like so some stuff just stays with the Matrix, right? But some stuff we then eventually carry over into our mainline cards. It's kind of a nice, like, kind of testing ground, bleeding edge, kind of proving ground for this kind of stuff. So yeah, the Matrix line is always awesome, and I look forward to seeing the next Matrix card one day. First, Painful Split says 8400 GS with a passive heatsink. Oh man, passive graphics cards. Those were the days. Can't pull that off anymore.
No, not with the thermals.
Nope, but it's worth it. Okay. So all of that said, guys, we have a cool 30-year retrospective over on the ASUS North America YouTube channel. I'll pop that link in chat for you guys. But I also want to call out the giveaway that we're doing for all of this. This is not just us like waxing poetic about the past 30 years. We are doing a big giveaway campaign. Actually, multiple, I think, giveaways that are going to stretch over the next couple of months. So this link is in the video description if you're watching this after the fact, but I'll pop it in chat for those of you watching live. Head on over to our 30-year celebration for instructions on how to enter. There are some cool prizes. So the grandest of the grand prize, we haven't announced what it is yet.
Oh, baby.
It's going to be something cool. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. But other grand prizes include some graphics cards and power supplies. And then if you scroll down even further, we also have a few smaller giveaways that we're doing with the Pelta headset, the ASUS keyboards, some gaming apparel type gear. And there are multiple phases there. So phase 2 and 3 will go into August, September.
Yeah.
And I think even into a little bit of October.
Like multiple rounds of winners, multiple phases of the whole thing. Like you love it. You love to see it. Heartbeat Extreme as like a lucky draw winner. That's insane. This is the world's greatest mouse right here. Like,
and the ASUS Extreme too.
That's true. Insane. I want that. Yeah.
So if you guys want to check this out, head on over to the link for instructions on how to enter. This is a global giveaway. There are always some countries that are excluded because of local laws or things like that, but it is worldwide. This is not like a US only thing. This is a big campaign straight from headquarters. So go check it out for your chance to win and share with us your favorite ASUS graphics cards from the past 30 years. Speaking of giveaways, we should do a tiny giveaway of our own right now, perhaps a Games Planet voucher.
Small giveaway.
Which is a good time for that because there are still some summer game sales going on. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, there are.
We'll do a giveaway and then we'll talk about Prime Day stuff.
I like it. Let's get the giveaway keyword set up. I'm going to say something stupid because it's not pizza, though. It's not pizza.
Slow Smokes, if you click the link, it should take you to the US page. You can also scroll down and add, click your region at the bottom, or you can just add US after asus.com/US and then whatever the rest of the URL is.
You know, I completely bungled that.
My eyes.
I'm on that, like the goggles, they do nothing. I'm kind of in that mentality right now because my eyes are burning. But that's okay. We got the shades. Excellent.
We do.
All right. This is for a $20 wallet voucher to gamesplanet.com. Get your entries in. 1 minute entry period. It is probably half over already.
And as usual, you'll need to share your Discord username with us if you win so we can send you your winnings.
Sweet winning.
And then once you've entered this giveaway, head over to that other one.
Yeah.
Enter to win.
Links and chats in the YouTube description.
Big stuff.
Lots of huge prizes. I mean, graphics card with power supply combos is insane. There's the fact that there's an unannounced one too is like what? Super exciting stuff there. Lots of good other prizes as well. Entries have closed for our $20 wallet voucher giveaway, so we're going to draw a winner for that now. Pandorian Gray on Twitch. Pandorian, please confirm these are not as he's typing about AR Ally shades.
ROG Ally shades.
Dude, I want anything in that space from ASUS, man.
Actually, we do have them.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not ROG branded, so we haven't done a lot of work with them, but
I want to try them. That's got to be interesting. That was a few years ago, right? The AR?
Yeah, I think so. Because I remember people were talking about it with the original Ally, I think.
Okay.
But I'm not. My expertise dwindles pretty quickly once we get outside the ROG brand.
Dude,
like I can talk a little bit about the ASUS stuff and the Zen books, but sometimes I get mixed up in my head because I don't write about that stuff as much. for
Yeah.
my job. So sometimes it goes, phew,
Very little exposure.
I have to look it up.
But yeah.
I will say though, I this is like I know it's not an ROG product, but I keep looking at that ZenBook A14 and I'm like, I want it. It's so thin and it is the lightest laptop I have ever held in my hands. The battery life is insane. I'm just like, ooh, I want it. I want it. Do I need it? No. I have ROG laptops littering my office,
Good
but I'm
lord.
like, that ZenBook A14, I need it. I need it.
Yeah, my wife got a new ZenBook and she loves it. It's just
Oh
such a
yeah.
lightweight machine. Yeah, she got it last year, so it's not the newest, but
I mean, they're all good. This one though is a whole new level. Like when we at the demo, we picked it up and we were like, oh, this is a fake laptop. Like this is it's just a
a
demo, like a plastic
hollow
demo unit.
shell.
And they're like,
Yeah.
no, this is hollow, not plastic, but like hollow shell. And they're like, no, 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 that's just how light it is. And the
And
fact that it's that light but still has insane battery life is just like wizardry.
wizardry. Full on wizardry.
But the finish is really nice. That like a aluminum finish is just oof, really, really premium feeling. Anyway, enough Zen books. Let's talk about ROG. So normally we would cut the stream here for those of you watching on YouTube after the fact, but today's a bit special because I'm basically treating this as another main topic. It is Amazon Prime Day, Prime Days. It is the second half of the Amazon Prime Days. Plus,
It's Black
the end
Friday in
of
July, right? And Black Friday is no longer a Friday. It's like it's just a sale, right? They got to get better naming conventions for this stuff because it's not a day. It's Prime Week.
well, last week was 4th of July and there were a lot of 4th of July sales. So like when I was streaming Sonic last week, we talked about some of the sales at like Best Buy and stuff.
That's true.
And
Everybody's
plus you've
doing
got
sales. Yeah.
summer sales for games and stuff too, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But if you guys have been looking at Prime Day and wondering what to get, here are some of the best ROG deals that we have. You can go to the main Prime Day page, which I'll paste in chat. This is the US one. I think there's a Canada one as well. There might be ones for your region if you go to Amazon and look. This is the US one. You can kind of browse a lot of the deals from there. We're going to go through and pick out a few. So if you scroll down, Jake, actually, if you go to the next tab that I sent you, this one, it's not on the main page. I don't know why, but this deal is great. This is the ROG Strix G16, the 2025 model from this year. This is the model with the toolless upgrades for your SSD and RAM. It's got a 240 hertz display, a 570 Ti. Like this thing is nuts. And I saw a few publications list this as the best gaming laptop Prime Day deal.
$400 off a brand new model is redonk. Like,
Yeah. We literally like this just hit shelves like 3 months
got
ago.
a 5070
like
in it. Yeah, basically. So,
yeah, 5070 Ti in this one. This machine is a beast. Great machine. Really great display on it. If it's not it's not our top end Strix model, that would be the Strix Scar 16 or Strix Scar 18 with like the 5090s in them. But if
sure,
you want
but
something that is really powerful but
you can,
and premium but
yeah.
still not going to break the bank, like this is like a really good like
This,
high mid-range option.
I mean, it's got Wi-Fi 7. This thing is future-proof in that
Yep.
regard, right? 5070 is going to play anything you throw at it, right? Any game you want to play, you can game on this. And yeah, terabyte stock. That's dope.
Yeah. This is a good machine. So I wanted to call that out because, some of this got copied. Whoopsies. Okay. Anyway, that was one of the best laptop Prime Day deals in general around. But you can go back to the main Prime Day page now and scroll down. I think the first section is motherboards. If you scroll down a little bit, it'll show like all. So this is if you guys scroll down, you'll see like all the deals. And there's even a show more button. This is a really great way to see like the categories at a glance and see like how deep some of the discounts are. So you can kind of like, this is kind of steep discount. I want to check out that motherboard.
30%. What?
Yeah, so there is a range, right? Depending on the model, how new it is, things like that. Just as an example deal here, I pulled out the ROG Strix B850A gaming Wi-Fi, which should be the next tab in your list there. Again, just an example, but like a 25% discount on a pretty sick motherboard if you're building a Ryzen-based machine. Again, Wi-Fi 7, it's got the Q antenna. It's got a lot of those like easy build feed. Like these motherboards are so easy to build with now, you guys, because everything is just like a plug or a button. It's not
Q latch.
You don't have all these. Yeah. Q latch. Oh gosh, the Q latch for the SSDs is like one of my favorite things to come to
Seriously.
motherboards. Those little M.2 screws were the worst, and they're basically dead to me now because I just have Q latch on everything.
I mean, it went from
So
the convenience of no longer having to run your SATA cables for your hard drives and your SSDs, and now we just have
that was
M.2s.
huge too.
And then M.2s were like, okay, well, this is kind of tedious because you need to worry about XYZ. And now there's nothing to worry about. It's got the thermal paste built into most of these motherboards cases right there. You just peel the strip off. You've got these cute, easy little Q latches. I mean, the experience is great. Quick,
And it even has heat sinks built in.
yeah.
Like
And
you don't even need to buy a heat sink. Like
yeah,
it's just the heat
it's got it all.
spreader is just right there.
It's got it all. Got it all. Plug and play. Um, in terms of the Xbox Ally, we're not talking about performance and stuff yet. I've seen a few questions today asking about how much better is the Xbox
Yeah.
Ally going to be. We don't have anything to share on that yet. Obviously,
It's going to be better.
well, yeah. I mean, it's
I can
better.
tell you that.
I've used
It's going
it.
to be better.
I've used it. I'm very impressed. That's all we can say. But
Yep.
we will be sharing that info as soon as we can, obviously. But they're still cooking. They're still
Follow and
cooking.
subscribe. I don't know where the button is. Follow and
It's
subscribe. The
everywhere.
button is one of the directions I'm currently pointing. And as soon as we have more information, you can bet we will be on stream talking about it
Yeah,
nonstop.
yeah.
Because I'm super excited.
Dude, I can't
I
wait to be able
cannot.
to. I can't wait to be able to
I
show it on
literally
stream.
cannot.
Right, there will be a time when we
Yeah.
get to show it off on stream, and we will do it when that time comes.
Yep. All right. Scrolling down to monitors. We have a lot of monitors on sale too. A
Quite a
lot
few.
of monitors. And so someone was mentioning in chat earlier, Shams, you were asking about OLED monitors for Prime Day. So you mentioned you weren't sure if it was a good upgrade over the one you have, but you didn't share the one you have. We've got a number of monitors here spanning not just, not just ROG, but other sub brands of ASUS too. We've got OLEDs, we've got IPS, we've got some unique stuff. So one of the ones that I pulled out was the ROG Swift 27-inch. This is a 1440p OLED, 240 hertz. This is a really nice monitor, and it comes with the monitor arm, which if that's something you're already going to get, you might as well get it in a bundle. There are other 1440p OLEDs in that section you can look at, but like if you're like Jake and you get rid of that stand as soon as you buy a new monitor.
Yeah, a lot of our stands are really nice. Let me just kind of jump in here and talk about this panel because I think this is a really good panel. The price of $899 is a lot because this arm is $899 is the default price for $649, and that's more than some people will normally spend on a monitor. But here's what you're getting out of this, right? This is a 27-inch panel that's 1440p, which to me is ideal. That is the best spot for the average gamer. Going to give you good FPS, good single player, going to give you good experience for pretty much everything. 240 hertz, phenomenal again if you're going for that esports angle because
Super
you're going to be
smooth.
able to achieve that in 1440p, especially with a 40 series, 50 series graphics card, if you have that. But all of that is pretty obvious if you know anything about panels. Like these stats look great. It's an OLED. This is phenomenal. That arm though, that is something that I think that people underestimate how nice it is. Because if you've only ever used a stand on a product, you're ergonomically limited in a lot of ways. Now, a lot of our stock stands do amazing things. They give you tilt, they give you swivel, they give you lots of height, but arms just offer more of that. They give you more height. They give you the ability to easily, swing it multiple directions. I'm a weird guy, right? I'm the kind of guy that'll raise my monitor and use it to play DDR because I want to use it while standing, right? There's weird situations that you can pull off with the arm too. So there's a lot of cool benefits there.
It's true.
And I think our arms look amazing. I actually don't have our arms. I have old ass random other arms.
You don't have arms?
No, armless
Armless. How do you game?
with my toes.
So, hey, I actually know people that do that. Some people very skilled.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is a sick display, but we do have other OLEDs if you're interested in OLEDs. So check out that Prime Day page that I linked in chat. Now, if you are on a bit more of a budget, you can't quite swing that much for a monitor, I would definitely look at our ROG Strix series. These are some of our newer IPS monitors that they're a step above the tough gaming ones. The tough gaming ones are good. And for a long time, I was like kind of annoying because I was like, these tough gaming ones are too good.
Yeah.
There's no room for ROG in that portion of the stack. And then we came out with these Strix ones that use kind of similar specs in a lot of cases, but step up just a few things here and there. So this is a 25-inch 1080p model. So really geared toward esports gamers, 380 hertz, really smooth. But it's a fast IPS display. So the response time on this one is really good. Better than you're going to find at monitors, even a little bit cheaper than this. And especially with this is almost 30% off, $299. Great price for this if you are an esports gamer.
Mm.
There are other Strix monitors. If you want something that's 27-inch, we have those as well too. But this was, and this, it comes in white. So if you're building a white esports setup, oh boy, this is going to be a good display. But those fast IPS panels are nuts. Just the response, the motion is so clear. Finally, this one was kind of wild. And I have to admit, I wasn't even really familiar with this one before I saw it. This is a 17-inch portable monitor, an ROG Strix. So it's 1080p, but it's at 17 inches. So that's pretty decent pixel density for the size. 240 hertz IPS. Good display. It comes with this tripod stand. So it's a portable monitor that when you
Right. So remember this photo?
it's kind of like the one you were using.
It's the same stand. It's a
okay.
different panel, but it's the same stand. So it can get pretty tall. That
okay. I
in the
didn't
center
realize.
there.
Okay.
That's like a tablet with a portable display stacked on top of it, and you can get all kinds of cool angles with it. It's very cool.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, so just a really neat display if you like game on a laptop and you want to bring something for a second display, or you want to hook up like your Ally,
They even
right?
showed.
Like you want to dock your Ally to a portable
Yeah.
monitor that you can bring with you. Like this is a great option for that.
Yeah, that's stacked
It's
on a
I l-
17-inch
There
panel.
it
I
is.
guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
The stand that comes with this just really levels it up. Like what a great inclusion for a portable monitor that a lot of portable monitors don't have. That was just a really clever addition. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Also on
They,
sale right now.
I see they put it with a duo.
It's the duo, so that's the third display.
That's awesome.
So okay, a couple things here. Shams Gaming is saying I was debating getting the 4K 240 hertz OLED, even though my PC can't push 4K 240 FPS, but it's future proof. So yes, I would agree with that point. One is that a lot of people don't upgrade their monitors that often. And in fact, a lot of people upgrade like their GPU or certain parts of their PC. Like the monitor is the last thing they upgrade. People will stretch.
They'll go
monitor
multiple
after, like,
generations
5,
of
10 years
graphics
if they
cards
can.
before they get a monitor. Yeah.
Yeah. So buying something that is more than what you need at this exact moment, like, can be useful if you don't plan on upgrading for a while. The other thing to keep in mind is that you've got things like DLSS. So even if you're not pushing native 4K, especially with DLSS 4, you could bump DLSS down to balanced or performance,
Yeah.
still get an incredible picture or a 4K display, better than what you would get on like a 1440p display. And be able to push that frame rate higher. The other thing is that even if you can't push exactly 240 FPS, you don't need to push the max refresh rate of a monitor to be taking advantage of it. You just need to be pushing higher than what you would get in a lower refresh monitor. So if the difference is, okay, I got a 240 hertz monitor and a 144 hertz monitor, which should I buy? I don't have to push 240 frames per second. I just have to push higher than 144 to be taking advantage of the 240 hertz monitor. And eventually, as you said, in the future, you might hit 240 frames per second on more of those games. So the 4K 240 hertz OLED is really nice. I can attest to that. I used it at CES. It's great. But it is totally up to you. And some of the features on our newer OLEDs are also really nice. That's an advantage that we have over some of the other options out there.
Igor picked up a PG27 UCDM. Dude,
Ooh.
I'm literally looking at the panel right now. Congrats. Welcome to the team.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm glad I was able to help you with the decision making. That makes me feel good. I'm happy.
Someone says you're a new streamer. Your glasses are gone, sunglasses are on. You're a completely new person now.
I've been getting that joke all week. I love it.
Okay, so moving on. I don't think I pulled. Oh no, I did pull out a couple of these. So down to cases and components. I didn't pull out any cases, but there are a bunch of cases on sale. We've mentioned this a couple times on stream. I'm gonna mention it again. We're gonna do a show about this
soon.
I promise.
Soon, TM. But the Hyperion,
it is very easy. Yeah, Hyperion.
I had to take my sunglasses off there to see if I'm
cool.
actually like 21% off is pretty good. Yeah.
The white Hyperion is a really cool looking case.
I look like a
but I know
pilot.
People, I know a lot of people look at the ROG case lineup and say like, okay, there's only like one or two ROG cases.
Yeah, you got the Hyperion.
Like, there aren't that many.
That's it.
But that's the thing is, we actually offer a ton of cases. It's just that there are only 2 in the ROG lineup. But the TUF lineup and the ASUS lineup have a lot of other cases in kind of different aesthetics, and they would work just as well for an ROG
Oh
build. The thing
yeah.
about cases is that, like, what we did is we went the
Ugh.
ones that get the ROG brand are the ones with kind of the really extreme kind of Strixie styling. But if you want something a little bit more understated, a little bit, you're like going for more of a cleaner build, you could go with an ROG motherboard and graphics card and put it inside like this Asus A31 I love.
Yeah.
It is such a clean case.
Right.
And it's under the Asus name
You want it in
because
black?
it could
Like,
be a gaming PC or it could be a non-gaming PC. It wouldn't make sense to put this under ROG because that would limit its potential scope of audience if we called this just a gaming case, because it's not. It can be a case for any kind of PC.
$75? Like what?
And 75, yeah, this is a great price for that case. So I would highly recommend not just limiting your scope to ROG stuff before you say like, oh, this is their entire selection. Like our entire selection spans Asus and TUF as well. And honestly, for me, it's a tough call between the Asus, that Asus tempered glass one, and
Didn't.
the TUF one. That TUF one that's has the same kind of like rectangular build with the square grill on the front. It's a really nice looking case. I like it a lot.
That's what, a 40 series card? No, 30.
No, the 30 series cards had the
The
no, that's a 40
horizontal
series
strip.
card. The 30
You're
series
right.
had those light bars on
You're right.
along
Yeah,
them.
yeah. So
That's
it's
the
a
40
40
series
series.
card.
Yeah, so that's
So,
a
yeah,
big
I
card.
mean, we might
So,
have come out with this a year ago. And I didn't realize because I was so focused on the
well,
ROG lineup that I didn't realize how many great cases there were in the Asus lineup too.
right, right. Yeah, there's a lot.
So I want to do a show where we go through the entire case lineup and talk about some of the ProArt cases are great too. Love the ProArt cases. A little bit more unique, but if you're looking for kind of a more unique build, like that's a great option. So I didn't pull any of those out specifically. I just wanted to call attention to that. We're gonna do a show about it, I promise, at some point.
Oh, we vibing.
Yeah. The wood edition ones are styling. But one of the things I did want to call out in that section were the power supplies. So we have right now on sale the ROG Strix Platinum power supplies at various wattages. This is the 1200 watt one, but some of the other wattages are also on sale. If you're looking for a power supply for your new graphics card, you want something that's ATX 3.1, that has some of those new features like our GPU first voltage stabilizer, which helps kind of level out some of those voltage
Mm.
spikes when the GPU is calling for voltage. Um, these are really great. Our power supplies come with a 10-year warranty. Like they are designed to, again, like this is something that could last you multiple builds if you buy enough wattage up front.
My
And our
thousand,
warranty is like
yeah.
our us standing behind that. Like this could last you multiple builds, and you'll have the warranty to span that length of time too.
I had my 1000-watt PSU for my 1080, my 30 series, and my 40 series. Right? Like,
Really?
yeah, that's insane. Right? 3 PCs.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. So that those are on sale. Some graphics cards also on discount too. Not like our Astro one, like not the super high end models. Those are not on discount. But if you're looking for like some of the ASUS Prime or the dual models, like because those are the more value oriented ones anyway. I think I put a tab for this. Yeah. So this dual 560 Ti is something like 10% off. Oh no, it's sold out. It's sold out in between the time I put this in the dock and the time we went live.
Rest in pieces.
Ooh. Rest in pieces. There are still some graphics cards on sale though, so go check those out. The discounts will vary depending on the model, and again, it's you're not going to find like the Astrals on sale, but if you're looking for a graphics card, 10% off is not nothing.
Yeah. Peripherals
Now,
too. We got some big sales on peripherals. 24% off the ASOS 75 wireless. This is the OG ASOS, right? Yeah.
this is the OG Azot, the one that I'm still using. I got to tell you, we'll go back to the main page in a sec because I had a hard time choosing the best accessory deals because it feels like every mouse, keyboard, and headset we make is on sale right now. This might be my favorite part of our Prime Day sale. The Azoth is kick ass.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Sorry.
Falchion Ace HFX is also on sale. Oh, there's some networking stuff on sale. I didn't pull out any of
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
but
We could
a
just.
ton of routers. Some of the big spidery routers have some pretty nice discounts. But this is where I'm like really tempted to buy some stuff, even though I own like half this stuff. So the Pelta headset, really good. Probably the most comfortable headset we've ever made. The Delta 2 that I'm wearing is also crazy comfortable, but ups the sound quality a little bit. That one's on sale. This microphone that I'm using, the Carnix, is on sale. All of these keyboards,
When,
like all of these mice, it's nuts.
It's funny. We did when you were on vacation, we did a mouse show. Robert and I went through and talked about all the different mice in the family, and there was a lot of love for the Spatha. So the Spatha X is 31% off. That's a big discount because that's
Dude, a
like
lot
it's
of love for the Spatha because that's an older model.
yeah, Spatha X
Still love
is
for it though. Love it.
fairly new, I believe. It's not that
I
old.
guess, yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
we
a
came
few
out with that
years.
while I was working here, so it's
Yeah,
not that
it's been
old.
like maybe 3 years old, but that's our MMO mouse, right? If you like that high performance or in terms of high functionality, it's a really cool mouse.
Yeah. Um, Shams, I'm gonna get to your question in a minute when we finish this part. Um, so yeah, a lot of good mice, even mice pads, mouse pads. What's the plural? Mouse pads. The Yeah, all good stuff. The Harp Ace Aim Lab edition is 40 freaking percent off. By the way, that's a sick mouse for a sick price. We
That
have some
is
slightly newer versions of it, but dude, 40 or that one is that the one that oh, and the
no,
Keras 2 is
where's
44% off. Like just nuts.
yeah,
Just
Falchion
nuts.
Falchion is 25% off, and then yeah, here's the Harpies.
Yep. So, like I said, it feels like every single peripheral we make is on sale right now. The Cetra earbuds, both the Cetra and the Cetra Speed Nova. I talked a little bit about those when I was streaming last week. I actually really like the cheaper older Cetras because they're low latency Bluetooth and they connect really easily to my phone and my Ally.
Hmm.
If you want something that's a little bit higher sound quality, a little bit better noise cancellation, the Cetra um, Speed
Speed
Nova
Nova, yeah.
use a USB-C dongle, so you're going to get even better latency with that and better sound quality. They cost a bit more. The Bluetooth on that one is not low latency though, so if you want the low latency, you have to use that dongle. So it really depends on kind of your use case. The Speed Nova are like objectively the better earbuds, but I actually really like the Cetras just for ease of pairing
I have the
and
OG
not
Cetras
having to.
too, and the gaming mode too. Low
Yeah.
latency is actually really
Yeah,
good.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah,
The low latency Bluetooth gaming mode is still really
it's
nice. Like it's
impressive.
still perfectly viable for gaming on my Ally or my phone. Much better, much better latency than I would get on a typical Bluetooth pair of earbuds, which
Yes.
I cannot game on. These I can absolutely game on.
Yeah.
And so you just pair and you hold to enter gaming mode. It's great. I love them. So multiple options depending on what you're looking for. A ton of really great stuff.
This is a product we don't really talk about too much on stream. This is the Tessin, which is
No, we don't, and we should because it is cool.
yeah, it's a very interesting product. It's compatible with pretty much any phone, and
It's
it
pretty
just
much any, yeah, but I mean, obviously, we kind of designed it with our ROG phone in mind, but it is compatible with any phone you might use. The sticks and buttons on that are really nice. It's really compact, and I love the way it folds up so that when you're not using it, it's really easy to stick into even a really small bag. Great if you do a lot of mobile gaming, if you play like a lot of Genshin or something like that,
yeah.
right? Um, it's a nice little controller. Okay, so Shams Gaming says he wants to upgrade to a 9800 X3D. What ROG motherboard would you recommend? I'm pretty sure we have a list. Hold on. Hold on.
Does the Tessin have an audio jack? That's a good question. I've never used the Tessin. That's one of the few products we never shown on stream.
Yeah, I kind of thought we were going to get you one, and then I think that kind of fizzled out. I'm not really sure what happened there. So
It got delayed
we
at
have a
some point.
list of the best ASUS best motherboards for the 9800 X3D. Now, this article is a little bit older, so I would also look at this newer one that is designed for the 9950 X3D, but a lot of those motherboards are still going to be compatible. If you're debating between X870 and B650, that's tough, and it really depends on your use case, right? With my new machine, I went B650 actually. Um, X870 is a nice step up if you plan on overclocking, if you need more USB ports, some of those have more USB ports, more PCI lanes. Obviously, if you have a bunch of other expansion stuff, there are some advantages to X870. But for a lot of people, B650 is going to be everything you need and give you a little bit more money in your budget to throw towards your graphics card or the monitor upgrade that we were talking about earlier, some of that stuff. So your best bet is to just look up a table with the differences between X870 and B650.
Hmm.
But you'll also, if you look at the motherboards in the article I just sent out, look at some of the more advanced features of the X870 boards, see if that's something that appeals to you. If you don't see yourself using a lot of those advanced features because you're not going to do a bunch of overclocking and RAM tweaking and things like that, B650 is going to be a really good bet. And like I said, then you have more budget to distribute elsewhere in your build. Um, you know, like one of our graphics cards, which I would hide because I think for me personally, I have an X this is an X570 in this machine. This is a bit of an older motherboard. I went with the X series for this machine because I needed the USB ports, and that was worth it for me. On the machine behind me, it made more sense to put that budget into a nicer graphics card, right? Like go liquid cooled, go for the ROG Strix or the ROG Astral instead of like an ASUS Dual, right? Like having that extra budget for your graphics card, I notice a bigger difference in having a nicer graphics card because it ends up being so much quieter and things like that than I do with some of those advanced overclocking features because I don't do as much of that as I used to. So it's really up to you.
Um, all right. Well, I jumped the gun and I skipped networking. I went straight into
That's
peripherals,
okay.
so we can just quickly talk about some of these sales. Almost $200 off a Wi-Fi 6E Rapture. Rapture is our highest line of the routers.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Yeah,
money
I
off.
didn't pull out anything specific from these, but I did think that was a sick deal. The other one down here is the GT6. That's the router. It's our ROG mesh system of routers. I'm actually using that.
Yeah.
I upgraded from like a 10-year-old ASUS router that I bought when I first moved to San Diego. And wow, what an upgrade to the GT6. The GT6 is amazing. I get full coverage everywhere from just 2 units in my house. It's so fast, so freaking fast. Love that setup. The ROG Rapture might have some more advanced features. The
Yeah.
range you get on the Rapture is still nuts for 1 unit. I mean, Jake has a bigger house than me probably, and a big yard, and you get
I go
like
it
your
reaches my
range went out to the forest.
yeah, I've got like an acre of land and it reaches the back of my property. My house is at the front of the property, it reaches an acre back. It's pretty impressive. No, it's not pretty impressive. It's insanely impressive,
It's
right?
really impressive
Um,
for one unit for not needing a mesh system at
right.
all.
Yeah. So this is actually the version that I have, the 11,000. So actually, no,
Oh,
mine
okay.
might even be older than this. I might have the 16,000, which is 5E, I believe. Five? I don't know.
You there yeah,
I've it's a
you upgraded to one, but I think you had to send that one back,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah.
you?
It's
So
a
you may
blur.
have used a
I've
new
used like 7 different routers over the last 5
yeah.
years, so it's kind of a blur as to which one I'm currently using. That's okay though. This is a really good deal. 199 for this one, 39% off, like $200 for an insane router that's going to solve you pretty much any kind of latency woes. This is Wi-Fi 6. This is an older model, right? So it's not
But if all your
as
devices are Wi-Fi 6 or
right,
6E,
right.
like
Yeah.
you're saving a lot of money on that over the newer model that was on sale for what, like
Four
400, right?
four
So if you
forty
can't
nine. Yeah. So it's
if you
less
can't
than half the
swing
price, yeah, for this one.
yeah, and like that's worth it, right? Wi-Fi 7, especially for future proofing things like
Uh,
that. But if you just can't swing the 449 and you don't have a ton of Wi-Fi 7 devices anyway,
$200 is insane. Like that's a really, really good price.
I'm still on Wi-Fi 6 too. That GT6 is
Yeah.
Wi-Fi 6, I
Yeah.
think, or
It is.
6E.
It is. Yeah.
And it's plenty, especially for the internet speeds that I use and things like that. So I'm
Hmm.
going well with it. Now, if you want something that's a little bit more understated, some of these Zen Wi-Fi mesh systems are also really nice. Um, I went ROG because that was what was provided to me, and I love the way they look, and I love the extra gaming features. But if you want something that you can like that really is going to blend in with your house, you have a spouse that wants something a little bit more understated. The Zen Wi-Fi are pretty
Oh
well.
yeah, that Rapture got shoved in the closet real fast. My wife's like, no spider peripherals
Which you're
allowed.
not supposed to do with a router, but with that router, you can probably get away with it because it's
It
still
doesn't
just
matter.
so
Yeah,
insane in terms
in
of
my case at
performance.
least. Oh.
Yeah, just goes through all the walls. My parents have a very weird house. I grew up in the Midwest, and so they have like 100-year-old house with thick plaster walls and these weird walls that like curve and jut out in weird spots. And we could never get good coverage across the house. My dad ended up mounting the router on the wall above the office, like just with an Ethernet cord just like trailing out because it was the only way that we could like every single time that signal hit a wall, it would die by like 50%. It was so bad. I'm
Yeah.
thankful to live in new construction
Mm-hmm.
with flimsy walls.
All right. I
All right.
think that's pretty
We,
much our deals, though.
should we talk about the game sales happening real quick
Well,
before we
yeah,
sign off?
we'll power through it. So Prime, we got some free games right now, including Prime Football
I wanted to
Manager.
call this out because Marvel's Midnight Suns is available for free right now on Prime Gaming,
Yeah, yeah.
which is so uh if you haven't played that game, it is not what you would expect for its type of game. It's kind of like an XCOM style, kind of turn-based strategy thing, but it's very heavy on story too.
A lot of
Like the sheer amount of cutscenes in that game are wild. So if you're a big Marvel fan, there's like a whole huge story with a ton of different Marvel characters. It's pretty cool.
voice acted too, right?
What? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
I played like 3 hours of it. Magique, I remember she was opening some portals, doing some cool stuff.
Yep. Yeah, Football Manager 2004. S.A. Arthur just mentioned. Yeah, he says it's a bargain. Yeah, at free, it is a bargain.
The OG Amnesia game, probably like one of the scariest video games ever made.
Oh
If
yeah.
you want to get
Yep.
spooked, go play that. I tried
I
playing
think
it.
that was from last week.
Tried
But yeah.
playing Amnesia the Bunker. I'm just saying it's on here, right? I tried
Yeah, yeah,
playing
it is still available.
the Bunker and I hated it. I hated it so much. It made me so uncomfortable. And that's the point of the game, right? But it did its job well.
That's how you know it's good.
Ugh,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, no, this is too much for me. I can't do this. Um, cool. Shifting over the Games Planet, lots of different sales here. This is
Yeah,
the
so if you hit the main Games Planet homepage, I think they have GTA 5 Enhanced on flash sale
I
right now.
do for the next
If
6 hours.
if for the people that still don't own that, guys,
$15.
it's awesome. Get it. Yeah, 15 bucks. I think Red Dead might also be on sale for 15 bucks, but I'm not sure. It was. It was.
I
And
feel like
15 for Red Dead is insane.
I'm not really like super familiar with Red Dead, but
Yeah.
did they just announce Red Dead Online? Is that a new thing? Did that not exist?
Red Dead Online has been around for a
Okay,
while.
I feel like I saw a trailer on
It
my feed.
may have like it may have like gone away. Maybe it's coming back. I'm not exactly sure because I
Okay,
never played it. So
yeah, me
maybe
neither.
someone can back me up on that.
I
But
don't know.
I did play. I played. I'm familiar with GTA and all that. I had never played Red Dead. I played Red Dead like last year, 2 years ago, for the first time on one of these flash sales for 15 bucks. So it is 15 bucks on Games Planet right now. It's been out for a few years, and
Yeah,
even now at 15 bucks, it's one of the best games you can buy for that price. One of the best hours to dollars ratio you can get from a game too. There's so much content in it. Incredible, incredible campaign. The story is amazing. It's a very different vibe from GTA. The gameplay is similar in the sense of like it's this open world. You can like steal cars and kind of do whatever you want, but the story is much more serious. It's not a satire like GTA 5, so it's a different vibe. Um, it's so good.
the world
So good.
is so alive. Hunting, it's just so many cool things in the game. Yeah.
Brushing your horse, feeding your horse, riding your horse. That's what I spent most of my time doing. That was nice. That was good.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
Okay, yes, but lots of other deals on Games Planet as well. There's a PlayStation sale happening right now under the offers tab. Some really good stuff there. If you wait, where'd it go? Did it go away?
No, it's probably here. There's
Did
a
it?
million tabs.
There was a PlayStation sale that again ended in between the time I added it to the dock 2 hours ago
It
and now.
happens. It happens.
That's fun. Love it when that happens. Oh, well, hopefully you guys got there before I did. No, it's still some good stuff though. So we've got Dave the Diver is on sale under the summer deals tab. Dave the Diver is excellent if you have not played it. If you have an ally, great. Destiny 2 stuff is on sale right
Yeah,
now.
I mean these are like
oh,
huge discounts because less than a week from today, we get
Yeah,
the
coming up on the next expansion.
new expansion. Yeah,
Basically, every Assassin's Creed game is also on sale.
There it
Some
is.
of these go as low as like $5
yeah, it's nuts. Lots of games on
or
sale.
like yeah, so much stuff on sale right now. I think like the Steam summer sale is officially over, but on Games Planet, the sale is still going on. So go get your games. I'm tempted to get this Ghost of Tsushima director's cut, which was on flash sale earlier. Now it's not. So I guess I missed my opportunity. Guys, don't forget if you log into Games Planet with your ROG account, you get a slightly deeper discount than they're already offering, which generally makes it there are very few situations in which something is priced better than Games Planet with the ROG discount.
Right.
And most of the time it's Steam keys. So you just add the key to Steam and you're off. Doesn't get much better than that.
I'm gonna go on
So yeah,
a little tangent here. I just saw Borderlands
right, cool.
4 on the screen, and I gotta say, when they announced Borderlands 4, I said, I loved Borderlands 2. Borderlands 3, I was like, I don't know, I didn't love it. It was fine, but it didn't pull me in for thousands of hours the way Borderlands 2 did. They announced 4, I was like,
Probably because you played Borderlands 2 for thousands
I
of
mean,
hours.
could be. But then I saw the most recent trailers for Borderlands 4, and oh my god, it's one of the most anticipated games. It just looks so good. It looks so good. It
Oh,
genuinely
really? I haven't seen it.
yeah. It was a couple weeks ago they dropped some gameplay trailers because I was like really just feeling like I don't know. I don't have a ton of time for games right now. I don't think I'm gonna pick it up. Now I'm like, well, now I have to buy that. Looks amazing. So I'm hyped. Can't wait for Borderlands 4 at
I'll
this
have to
point.
check it out.
Yeah, looks good. Looks
Uh,
like a good time.
Arthur99 says, I wish some of the games were global on Games Planet. So if you are on, if you buy it from the us.gamesplanet.com sites, there are certain games that are region locked. If you want to get a version for your country, you can go to, there are Games Planet stores for your country.
Yeah.
So like you can go to like uk.gamesplanet.com and those keys will be for other regions.
I mean, some games
For
are global,
when relevant.
but yeah. I mean, region locking
A lot of the games
is not something that Game Planet chooses. That's the publisher that chooses if a game is region locked, and that's just how it goes. Some publishers don't even sell their games in certain countries, which is part of why the region locking happens. And it is what it is. There's lots of variables.
So one more question I saw. Igor says, will the Rapture router have a good signal for a 2-floor building with reinforced concrete walls? My tough AX4200 is not cutting it. So that's a tough situation with reinforced concrete walls. And it depends so much on the building, where the walls are, all this stuff that we can't necessarily answer that for you.
Yeah.
What I would recommend is if you're not getting a good signal with what you have, first of all, you could buy the Rapture router on Prime Day sale, try it out, and if it's not giving you the signal you want, you can return it and get something else. And the something else that I would probably recommend in that situation would be one of those mesh systems, and they're going to work the best if you can wire them all up with Ethernet.
Well,
in a building like that, you gotta wire Ethernet, and then if so, because the mesh system can work in 2 ways, right? They can communicate their what's called backhaul. Like if I'm talking to this node and it needs to send it back to the main router, if that's backhaul, it's sending it the hops along the way. If it's doing it wirelessly, this one connects wirelessly to this, which connects wirelessly to the main router or whatever. You do lose a little bit of signal with each of those hops, especially if you have like walls in the way. If each node is connect over Ethernet to the main router at your modem,
you don't lose anything.
Then you don't lose anything. No matter where you are in the house, you get the same excellent Wi-Fi signal. And if you own the house, right? If it's just, I assume that this is something that you own, it is worth spending the money to wire that Ethernet so that forever you will never, ever, ever have to deal with Wi-Fi issues again, because you can use a mesh system and just put them wherever is best in the house, and they're all wired backhaul.
On top of that, though,
and I recommend it highly enough.
If you already have an ASUS router, a lot of old ASUS routers can just be meshed into a network. So you can buy a new router rather than buying a new mesh system, and then use your old router to be a node on your network.
Now the question is, does the tough router he have do that? Yes, the tough. Okay, so the tough AX42. This is a great point, Jake. I hadn't thought about that. The tough AX4200 does support AI mesh, so you could also grab another like tough AX4200, which is going to be really good, like really good price to performance there, and then use those as a mesh system. Again, ideally wired with Ethernet, but yeah, you could just do that and not have to junk your current router or sell it for less money or whatever. Like you could use that as one of the nodes in a mesh system. That is one of the really cool advantages of our modern routers.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So nice. So nice.
Alrighty. But we are going to wrap things up here today, I think, with a final giveaway.
Final giveaway.
I forgot what I chose as the keyword. Shades.
Shades.
Send it. I'm really sad that my blue light filter glasses didn't make it. They're coming today, which is good.
Yeah.
But that means my eyes will be safe tomorrow. We're doing a gaming stream tomorrow. I keep promising that I'm going to beat Expedition 33. But that's a game where there's a lot of text, and text is the hardest thing for my eyes right now.
Jake didn't read a lot to begin with.
I know. So, but now it's like actively giving me like headaches and strain when I read. It's like I was right to not be reading.
I know. I keep promising that I'm going to start Expedition 33, but I got into this weird situation where I was playing like 3 or 4 different games at once, and I'm trying to like finish some of those up so I can kind of start with a clean slate and really dive into Expedition 33 or something else. I have a few other games in my backlog, but I want to grab that while it's on Game Pass, so I might play it next.
Expedition 33 low key like might have the best soundtrack of any game that's come out in like 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it might have the best OST. Like,
Bold claim.
yeah,
Bold claim.
it's insane, dude. It's insane. All right, we're gonna go ahead and draw our final winner of the day. Gold Tanks on YouTube. Gold Tanks on YouTube. Please
Wow.
confirm your Discord ID.
Ritz called it. Ritz was like YouTube winner today. Yeah,
He
guess so. Gold tanks. Now, is that gold tank tops or is that gold like army tanks? Or is it like gold fish tanks?
Oh, just imagine a fish tank with bars of gold. Like you're just styling on people like so hard. Gold Tanks. Confirm your Discord ID and make sure you're in our Discord server.
Solid shade. Nice. Like golden, gold tanks. What is your Discord ID? Not your display name, but your Discord ID. And then join our Discord, which is right here. You got to join our Discord in order for us to message you. We have to share.
You're right. You're right.
Server.
Tanks is actually just short for Tom Hanks. So it's a golden Tom Hanks. Yeah. Well said, Fax. Well
Come on,
said.
Gold Tanks, share your Discord ID with us, please.
I believe in you.
I know YouTube chat is delayed, so I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
You can do it.
You're typing it as we speak.
All right.
Come on.
It's gonna be there any second.
ML Paladin says, would be nice if Twitch viewers would get selected once in a while. Stop trolling, Paladin. Make the Azoff X eligible for points. Sadly, we do not decide what things are eligible for elite points.
Yeah, we have no power there.
Maybe someday. Gold Tanks just said sorry. Is sorry your Discord user ID? Hands shaking. He's too excited. You can do it. Copy and paste it from Discord. You can. We believe in you. We believe in you. Oh boy. Looks at watch. TikTok, Mr. Tanks. TikTok.
There you go.
There we go. We got it. We got it.
We did it.
You did it.
10
I told you we believed in you.
later.
And you delivered.
Well, friends, it was fun chatting about graphics cards today.
It was.
I hope you all feel inadequate if you don't have an Astral.
Not supposed to be that honest, Jake. I won't be here next week. It'll be Jake and Lane probably. But then the week after that, I think we're going to be playing some GTA online with Mr. Ned Luke himself, the voice and likeness of Michael DeSanta. Will be joining us on stream to play some GTA Online in like 2 weeks.
On the 23rd.
We'll put it up on our social media. We'll have so stick around, follow, subscribe if you haven't done that already. That'll be my first day back from vacation. What a comeback.
Should we make that an RP stream where we all have to RP? I'm just going to choose the RP. How's that?
You can do that. You can give your character sunglasses and you can wear those sunglasses the whole stream. Ned would not make fun of you at all.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to use my voice modulation and I'm going to be, it's going to be excellent. I look forward to this. I'll leave my, I'm going to create a backstory. I'm going to create a whole character. We're going to go.
This is going to get real.
I got new eyes, although they hurt.
And I'm gonna create a backstory too. My guy's gonna be named Whitson, and he does marketing for a large global gaming tech company. It's gonna be like Dwight when Dwight played Second Life in The Office.
I never watched The Office, but
it was good. He created a character that was the exact same as himself. He's like, I liked my life so much, I got a second one.
Hell yeah, I like it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out today. We'll see you tomorrow for a gaming stream. Same time, same place. Till then, peace out.